You asked to see the boss? I'm Johnny Dang, the king of bling.
Before, Johnny Dang would be seen hanging out with and making custom ice for the biggest names in entertainment, including Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Cardi B, and more. Before, the king of bling would clock in over 1.5 million followers on Instagram, over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, and a modest 38,000 followers over on Twitter at the time of this recording. Before Johnny Dang would get his name dropped in dozens of rap songs from award-winning artists, including the Migos, Gucci Mane, Lil Pump, Chief Keef, and more. The grill and rapper jewelry game had existed before Johnny Dang. In fact, historians, they can trace gold-fitted teeth back to between 800 and 200 BC. Now, with that said, Johnny Dang, he is the founding father of bringing grills to the mainstream in the 21st century and definitely deserves his title as the king of bling. I mean, this man even has fans tattooing his face on their body. Like, what the hell? Now, Johnny is said to be the inspiration behind Nelly's track Grills, which was the top song on the Billboard charts in 2006, and it definitely brought grills back to the mainstream. Now, you can actually see Dang dancing in the background of the video if you watch closely. So here we are nearly 15 years later, and grills, they've only become bigger and bolder, with Johnny Dang leading the charge in creating one-of-a-kind designs. Now, today he's hanging out with the best of the best, and it seems you haven't arrived in the rap game until you've copped some fresh ice from Johnny Dang. He's now got a team of 50 jewelers in-house, and his 16,000 square foot shop, well, it resembles a small palace. Not bad for a guy who came to America from Vietnam with little more than the clothes on his back. And even then, well, he still didn't even know what hip-hop was. Wow. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back at it again with another Before They Were Famous, this time on the King of Bling, Johnny Dang. Now, this video was requested by you guys, and we've been pulling in some major views over the last couple months. So thank you guys all for your continued support. Now, if you're new to the Fame Gang, be sure to subscribe, turn on them post notifications, drop a comment for who we should feature next. Alright, now let's get into this video. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
We got my man TV Johnny right here though. Johnny, what's up, man?
Chillin', man, just perform fresh. The song will stay like
Did you do your verse?
I just did my verse, man.
Snap! Johnny did the verse.
You know, Power TV Johnny C song.
Johnny Dang was born Tuan Dang on November 21st, 1974 in Dak Lak Province in Vietnam. Now, this was just before the end of the Vietnam War, which looks like, well, it looks like a pretty picturesque place he's from. But it lacks opportunity, and I'm sure the war, it wasn't pretty. He grew up in a small village in the highlands of central Vietnam along with his 4 siblings. Now, his father, he had fought for South Vietnam, who were allies with the Americans in the war.
Then it felt like something just jumped up and bit me.
Then in 1987, his father, he fled to America by boat in search of a better life. It was then he told Johnny to learn to make jewelry until the two would eventually reunite. With his father arriving in Houston, Texas, well, he set up a small jewelry shop.
Hey, Tex. Man, what the hell's going on?
And Tex well, I don't remember where Tex come from.
Now, the two would keep in contact, and Johnny, he would realize the major differences between the style and the technologies being used in America versus Vietnam. And from afar, while he was educating himself on the size and the opulence Americans had for their fancy jewelry. Now, it would take another 9 years before Johnny, his mother, and his siblings could afford the trip over to Houston, Texas. There, they joined their dad, and they had their chance at the American dream. Now, when he first laid his eyes on America, he was in disbelief. He told NBC News, "After landing, I couldn't believe my eyes because I saw a 2-level freeway." In an old post on Instagram, Johnny Dang recalls, "Hashtag started from the bottom. My brother and I did some jewelry in the mall in 1997 when I just came from Vietnam. I always carried my tools with me." Johnny got to work at a flea market repair stall, earning about $100 per month while living out of his car, or when he was lucky, in a house with 15 people. By 1998, he had his own mall store named TV Jewelry. Now, this isn't because he had his sights set on fame just yet, but because T was his birth name initial and V, it was for Vietnam.
How did you first get started in jewelry?
I started that 20 years ago. I came from Vietnam, straight from Vietnam, and work at the jewelers. And I'm lucky to work at the flea market, where is a lot of hip-hop customer. So that's how I started.
Now, around 2000, Dang, he met rapper and entrepreneur Paul Wall. Now, Wall was impressed by Dang's ability to make grills which didn't require the filing of teeth, which was actually common practice at the time. And Wall, well, he had the connections and insight in the industry that helped Johnny Dang break into the hip-hop scene. And so their partnership began, and it continues to this day.
Now, as a youngster growing up, I always wanted everything at the cheapest price. So for me to get a grill at the cheapest price, the easiest way is for me to make them or work with a person that makes them. And that's what I ended up doing. That's when my boy come into play.
Now the two teaming up, it was a perfect match. Paul Wall, he was ready to embark on a solo career after working with Swishahouse Records and collaborating with artists like Chamillionaire, DJ Screw, and Mike Jones. Now we knew everyone in the Houston rap game, and Johnny, well, he needed someone to vet for his work because a lot of people were having a hard time understanding what he was saying.
What's going on, man? We down here in BTL with Paul Wall. You know what we do? Moving around the world. Peace.
The two started to show up at hip-hop nightclubs like the Coco Loco, and Johnny, he would pay DJs for promotional shoutouts. Now his next big customers were Paul Wall's boys, Chamillionaire, Slim Thug, and Mike Jones. Now all of a sudden, he had a new lineup of clientele. By 2002, business was booming. Now from the get-go, Johnny, he tried to make things unique for each of his rapper clients. He would use round diamonds, he would use different colored diamonds, and various embellishments that would make them look one of a kind. Now from there, it spread via word of mouth. No pun intended. In 2005, Wall had his big break with the release of his second album, The People's Champ. Now he was regularly sporting Johnny Dang grills, and all of a sudden the pair were getting requests from the likes of P. Diddy and Kanye West. Now next up was Nelly and his banger, appropriately titled Grills, which featured Paul Wall spitting a verse. And Johnny Dang, he was even featured in the video. Now the song hit #1, and the video it featured more than 70 close-up grill shots. Now this introduced mainstream America to the wonderful world of mouth jewelry. Now all of a sudden they were selling more than 400 grills a day for at least $500 a pop. And it wouldn't be long before they would be opening up a brand new location. That makes sense? Sounds like I got a grill.
Me and TV Johnny, my partner in the jewelry, you know, we've been just going at it. We got a new store in Houston in the Galleria Mall on the 3rd floor next to Neiman Marcus. So we went from the hood to, you know, in the mall with the skating rink and Neiman Marcus and Gucci store, you know what I'm saying? So we just really took it to another level. We got our own line of watches and we do all custom jewelry, not just the grills. So we've been, you know, making a little bit of bread off of that, you know.
Now finding all this newfound success, well, Johnny, he was happy to show off how far he had come. In an Instagram post, it read, "In Vietnam versus in USA. Lol, the American dream." Now Johnny Dang was never a man to slow down. When opportunity struck, he dedicated 18 hours a day, 7 days a week to strike while the iron was hot. And the man was in pursuit of his American dream. Now him and Paul Wall, they cooked up a few other crazy ideas to get some further media attention surrounding their business. During the 2014 NBA All-Star Games in New Orleans, well, they promised their customers a full refund on any watch they bought a week before the game. Now their team ended up losing and they were forced to shell out $200,000, but the free press, it paid off for them in the long run. Now next up, they started making custom grills for celebrities outside of the world of hip hop, with some unusual choices including Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte. They also chose Kobe Bryant, who led USA to a gold victory in the Olympics. Now from their business, it took on a whole new list of clientele. Now there isn't a celebrity Johnny Dang hasn't been photographed with or has made a grill for. It's like practically everyone in Hollywood. I'm talking Katy Perry, Paris Hilton, DJ Pauly D, Shaquille O'Neal, that one must have been big, Tony Hawk, and even recently, Jeffree Star.
It's always been a dream of mine to have diamond grills. Shout out to Johnny Dang for making this a reality, girl. Ooh, hi.
Johnny Dang & Co. currently have 3 locations. The original is in Plaza Americas, which is formerly the Sharpstown Mall. There's a bigger store on Richmond Avenue, close to the Galleria area, and he has an outpost in Vietnam. Now he employs about 75 workers, 42 of whom are jewelers. And Dang, he can now enjoy the perks of his success, mainly overseeing his business. Now he rarely handcrafts the jewelry himself these days, but when the customers request it, like Travis Scott, well, Dang gets to work showing the world he's still got it. A quick Google search also pulls up a net worth of an estimated $20 million. Damn, the dude has certainly made it. Now he's also got a wife he refers to as TV Jennifer, and they have 2 kids, and he enjoys spending as much of his free time as he can at the golf course. Now the man's also generous and he likes to give back to the kids in Texas with regular charity giveaways, and he helps children in his native Vietnam under the brand Johnny Dang Charities.
What they talking about, baby? It's your boy Paul Wall along with the king of bling, Johnny Dang. Hey man, my boy Johnny, he got something called Johnny Dang Charities. A lot of people don't know because we don't boast, we don't brag about the good deeds we do, but my boy is always doing good deeds in the community, always giving back.
Speaking of which, I'll be heading to a Nelk food drive this weekend in Mississauga. It's just outside of Toronto, so if you're in the area, you should pop by. Now Johnny, he keeps upping his game, bringing the world never-before-seen grill designs like the famed invisible baguettes that he did for Quavo. And he actually did that like earlier this year.
Yeah, man.
And we actually talked about that in one of our Rapper Grills videos from a couple weeks back, so be sure to check that out. As for the rest of the story, well, I think we're gonna wrap this one up here because this is Before They Were Famous. My name is Michael McCrudden. You guys requested this video. Be sure to let me know who's next in the comments down below. I think that's everything. I do have a grill. I should have wore it for this video. It's just hard for me to talk. Yeah, I don't know. That's it.